Welcome back to a new video. This is the second session from my preparatory program. So in this day, the focus is front squats first and then doing some overhead work. So the overhead work that I did after front squats was to do overhead press, to push press, to jerks. And I guess a somewhat decent amount of volume, but not a ton of volume in any particular one of the movements, just kind of a progression in weight from those, but you kind of see how I move from those. On the front squats, I was able to do 170, 175, and they felt pretty good. I didn't want to push above that because I want to start hitting some volume on the drop sets. So you see here the 175 moved pretty decent, but I definitely recall it pushing me a little bit forward, so I think it's a good thing that I stopped there. But then with the drop sets, take the belt off and then hit some reps with 120, went up to 143 for some more reps, and then 152 for a single. And the goal of the drop down sets is to progress those, obviously to progress both the top end but the volume as well, because volume will lead into the top sets, but just kind of build that tolerance to doing repetitions with heavier front squat weights, since it's a very difficult thing for me to do. And at worst, just to get more practice at doing the front squat, because it will just help with cleans. Of course, with overhead press, see here, I believe I did triples with the overhead press, or at least doubles. I just started at 70 just because I already had the red on the bar. Let's see if I do a triple here. I forget whether I actually did. I feel like I might have just only done a double. No, I did a triple. But my overhead press, I'm not worried about necessarily like top end weight that I'm going to get to. I'm just using it to kind of build into push presses. Oh yeah, this is where I just did a single there because it was a bit difficult. I think originally when I had written the programming for this day, I wanted to go from like 61 kilos to 70 to 80, but I already had the red on there, so I kept it on there. I added 10 kilos from that less overhead press to do push press doubles. So I went from 95 to 105 to 115, which I was pleasantly surprised I was able to do the 115. The 115 was quite difficult to do. But I essentially have one of these front squat workouts in a week, one that is back squat focused, that you'll see later in the week. And then I feel like one more of them, but I think it's just like a squat focused workout. I'm trying to think ahead of what you'll be seeing throughout the week. But the goal of this session was to get a little bit more practice and a little bit more volume of the overhead stuff. And then in the other session later in the week is more so just to push up the weights a little bit more. As far as the overhead work goes for squats, it's pretty much the same thing. Work up to something heavy and then do some drop down sets. Here, for some reason, I thought that I'd be able to do a double. I don't think I'm really going to push jerk doubles, at least when they're heavy. I think around 125 I can do pretty easy doubles there. But above that, it's not really too consistent, but it's also just a lot of wear and tear just to kind of fail that. And if I want to just do a clean rep, like I just want to get better at singles with the jerk, so I might still catch a re-rack like that if I'm going to do multiple singles. But on a day like this, like, was productive. I hit everything that I wanted to hit and a little bit more. I think I put the top end front squats at 170, so I was able to push above that to 175, and just want to make that consistent and hopefully push to 180, 185 as I get closer to the competition. And that will be done just through building the bottom sets and all of that. Same with the overhead stuff, just to get more practice at like jerks and stuff. So just to have them more frequently. Obviously, I'll have them on the days where I'm doing the weightlifting movements themselves, but I wanted to have more specific work, but also to have that kind of that base building movements before that. And it's a really fun workout. It's a really easy workout to go from overhead press to push press to jerks. And it's one that I like having in because it just kind of leads into each other and allows you to kind of work simultaneously on those three things. And I don't know, it's a fun workout, but productive day, got the work in, move on to the next day. Talk to you on the next video. Peace.